Everybody, welcome to All Astrology. I'm Amy.
And I am G.
And we are continuing with moon signs today. We are doing the air moon signs that we have, and we will be talking about for the bonus?
Bonus! We're going to get into the present day new moon, which is actually, we're recording this today, which is May 4th, the new moon in Taurus. Mm-hmm. And we are also going to tie that into your ascendant, which is your rising sign.
Yep.
And we basically just want to focus in a little extra time with each chart so that we're giving you high quality content with your readings.
Please, 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 if you like what we're doing, get your friends, send them, have them send us their birth information so that we can put their charts into the mix. We can get them their personalized information and hopefully get them to get their friends.
So don't hesitate to share. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's move along.
Okay, so our first chart for today is going to be November 13th, 1982 in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We have a Libra moon with a Virgo rising sign and a Taurus sun. Scorpio sun.
Scorpio sun. All right, so what we're going to focus on is showing you how to find your natal moon. This is our moon series, so it's all about, get this close up.
So first of all, we've got the rising sign.
You want me to move this closer?
Nope, we got it. We're good. There's the rising sign, Virgo. We go down here. We find the moon, the crescent moon shape, which is going to be in Libra. If we keep going around, we'll find the circle with the dot in it, and we're going to find the sun, which is in Scorpio.
So for this person's chart, right, Libra moon in the second house, right?
Yep.
We've got Scorpio sun in the third house.
Yep.
So you see how this one was kind of easy to find it out because this person has everything here.
Pretty
Couple
much
things up here, but wow, what a concentration on the second and the third. Holy communication and thinking. OMG.
Yep.
WTF. Dang. Wow. Lot going on in that person's mind.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so is it okay if I hold it? Just so,
sure.
Yeah, that way we can take a peek.
Sure.
So let's new moon, right? New moon. Today,
the new moon,
May 4th.
Today, May 4th at 14 degrees of Taurus. It's going to be later this afternoon. Right. It's going to be up here in the ninth house.
Okay, let me, so it...
Try again.
That's on her...
It's going to be right...
We said 14.
14, right there.
Right there. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here.
There you go.
All right. So how did we find that in her chart?
Got to look for Taurus.
You go find Taurus, and you start at 0 degrees Taurus. And, 0 degrees Taurus. I hate this backwards thing, man. It's got me all backwards. We start 0, and we go this way, right? So 14 degrees is right there. So this is where the new moon happens on this chart today in a couple of hours.
Yep.
Okay. The new moon is all about setting our intentions. So for this person, we want to understand what's the best thing to focus on, because you want to use the energies that are being given, that the universe is handing you. And right now, the universe is saying the new moon intentions are in Taurus. So
let's first talk about that Aries moon that this birth chart has.
Okay, we can do that.
And then we'll get to that bonus reading for the Taurus new moon.
So I'm just trying to keep up with her. You mean the Libra moon that this person has?
That Libra. All right, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You said Aries, I think. I could have heard it wrong. I'm
Libra.
Okay, so
that Libra moon in the second house.
All right. You'd rather go down here and talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what we'll do.
Let's talk about this person.
I don't want to throw 3 things at one time. It'll be all over the place.
Yeah.
So Libra moon.
Libra moon.
Libra is all about relating one-on-one, all about balance and fairness, all about compromise.
All about close personal relationships.
So y'all saw that, right? I know we already pointed that out.
The moon is about our emotional
emotional
selves.
satisfaction.
Our emotional satisfaction.
So for this person, having those relationships, having significant one-on-ones, and having fairness in those relationships, having that balance in those relationships, whatever that means in that person. But more specifically, it's going to have to do, because it's in the second house, it's related to Taurus. The second house is Taurus. So this, again, relates when we talk about her second house here with Libra in it, in the element of Taurus, then it is talking about the same Taurus up here. Just so you guys understand, when we say a sign, you're right. It's two places in a chart, really, right?
Right.
Because even though you see Taurus up here, Taurus rules the second house. So, yes, we have to talk about like a house contains like three things in it, right? It contains the actual planet that's there. It contains the sign that it's in. And the house that it sits in is the pot, is the kettle that holds all the ingredients. And it's kind of like, I kind of see it as if you cook in cast iron, if you cook in cast iron, the iron
itself, the pot itself beasons seasoned.
And so it becomes part of the ingredients, actually.
Right, because that seasoned pot has the seasonedness of the pot itself.
And the iron from the pot. Like I remember I was always paying attention to where I could get iron, and I had gone through a really sickly time. I was really totally anemic. And it was one of the suggestions, cook in iron. You need iron, cook in iron. You're going to have some spinach, cook it in your cast iron skillet. So for many years, me and my cast iron skillet were like
you guys
best buddies. We were best buddies. Yep. So I kind of always, I relate everything to food. I'm a Taurus. What the hell can I say? It makes sense to me. And it makes it relatable for everybody else, because who the hell doesn't eat, right?
Right. We all have to eat.
Yeah. So like your houses, you can kind of see them as that skillet, that iron skillet, that its ingredients are going to also be relevant. Okay. So when we talk about mixing Taurus and Libra together, it's actually super compatible. And why? Because they have the same rulers. The rulers are Venus. And so Libras and Tauruses are compatible. They
share a similar type of energy because of that Venus planetary rulership that they share.
Venus is about loving, how I love, how I am loved, what I value.
Love.
Yeah, what I value. So Venus is Taurus as well, very aesthetic, likes physical beauty. You know what I mean? Likes physical things that are just of quality, not so much the quantity, but the quality of it, right?
Right.
So relationships, Tauruses are a fixed sign. So when they're in a relationship, it's, well, this is my partner. You know, and they have a tendency to hold on very tightly. Now, for Venus or for Libras, they are not fixed. They're considered cardinal, right?
Moving forward.
Right. But at the same time, close one-on-one relationships are very important.
And they want balance within those relationships.
Right.
Or at least they want their sense of balance within the relationship.
Well, right. And it has a lot to do with where their rising and their sun is and all that. So
and how they interpret what the sense of balance is.
Not to get confusing, but in this person's chart, they're Venus, because again, Venus is the ruler of the Taurus, right? It's the ruler of this second house. So because it's the ruler, I would look for Venus. And I know we haven't gotten there yet, but I wanted to explain it because got a comment, and the comment said, if you could show me the chart and tell me what you're doing and point to it. I'm finding Venus because she's the ruler of Taurus. She's the ruler of this second house, and there she is. I know what Venus looks like, so I can do this. And yes, I know you guys aren't there yet, but as we do this, you'll get there. She's just like this little person. She doesn't have antennas. The one with the antennas, the other little person with antennas is Mercury. Let me double check, because, yeah, I'm right.
Yep.
She's next to Uranus. So that's Venus. Well, she is in the third house. This person loves to think, loves to communicate, loves to talk, loves to write, right?
The third house is all about how we communicate, how we talk, how information. It's about how we think. It's about education. It's about
yes,
teaching.
The teacher, short journeys.
Yeah.
So likely this person, when we talk about what they value, right? Because we're tying it back to their second house and Libra, things they might want to do with their significant other. That's going to be a really good indication as to what this person's going to love to do with that other person.
Yeah, they're going to,
or gifts from that other person.
They're going to really value how they communicate and who they communicate with and the way in which they communicate. And they're going to really value knowledge and information. And
well, definitely on this
this
person. My gosh.
my
You see all the planets in the house of thinking? Holy crap. Talk about a thinker.
Yep.
And a talker and a communicator, right?
Yep.
I mean, this is like, whoa, do you ever sleep? I mean, wow. I know
Probably
we've
not.
talked about Virgos having a hard time sleeping because of the constant communication because
And-
Mercury rules them.
And look at this. This person is a
Right.
Virgo rising.
Relate this to this person's
Wow,
rising
this
sign. They're a
person
Virgo
really
rising.
just does not,
They're
can't
constantly
shut the
thinking.
brain off.
Yeah.
They're constantly thinking.
Avid learner.
Mm-hmm.
Avid learner. Which takes us to the new moon. Because the new moon for this person is the 9th house. The new moon happens here, 13, 14 degrees, right?
Yep.
And the 9th house is the house of higher learning. It's the house of higher learning.
It's the house that's ruled by Sagittarius. And Sagittarius has to do with goal setting. Sagittarius, yep.
That's right.
Think
They
of the
keep
archer.
They keep shooting upwards.
They're always looking for that next new goal.
Next new thing to learn.
The next new thing to learn. They're always setting that next new goal. What's the next new thing that I want? What's that next new thing that I need to learn? What's that next new goal that I have to achieve? So they're always looking for that next new thing, and they're always trying to achieve that.
A lot like Capricorns in that way. Because
Yeah.
the Capricorn wants to, I've achieved this, okay, I got to keep climbing to achieve more.
Think about the Capricorn. The Capricorn is
But
the
with the Sag-
goat who's trying to climb the mountain.
Right. The difference is, I don't mean to confuse people, the difference between the Sag and the Capricorn. For the Sag, it's about their belief system and truth for them. So they're constantly trying to acquire that. So it's
Right.
like any new experience is a new way of gaining new truth, one step next,
New knowledge.
new knowledge.
Trying to connect that one piece of knowledge to the next piece of knowledge. Trying to find new ways of connecting information. I kind of like to think of information that Sagittarians collect sort of like the synapses in the brain. They're constantly collecting all of this information, and they're trying to find new neural pathways to connect all that information.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I like
Yeah.
that. So that would be a big difference. That's a good way to differentiate them between the Capricorns, because we were saying the Capricorns are about ascending as well.
They're about ascending to try and get to the top of the mountain, whereas
Theirs is more in a material way.
it's a very material
Just
way.
is. It's more in a material way.
Sagittarius is in a much more
It's about knowledge.
thinking
Wisdom.
wisdom way.
Wisdom, because
Yeah.
Jupiter is its ruler. So it's wisdom. It's all about wisdom and expansion and growth.
Yep.
That is what that is about. Now, doesn't take anything away from Capricorn at all, because Capricorn's more in a material way, but they are definitely the
Because-
sign of the corporate world. They are the sign of business, of banking.
Right.
That's Capricorn.
Because
so,
we have to have that, because we do live in the
physical
material,
world. That's
physical
right.
world.
Yeah.
But we also have to be able to expand our minds.
Yes.
Because without mind expansion, we don't have innovation.
Yes, I agree. You need that. You definitely have to have the brains to then take the material world to the next level.
And we have to have that brain at the next level to be able to then convert it and
Yeah.
get the material world to take society
To
up.
lift the material world. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
that
have
makes
to
sense.
go hand in hand. Okay, so for this person, this new moon in the 9th house,
Yep.
this is all about your belief system.
It sure is.
This is about how you look at the world, how you look at your beliefs, how you think about your beliefs, how you value your belief system. So you've got Taurus there. It's your value system and your belief system tied together.
And you might be, I would feel strongly actually that this is going to have a lot to do with a lot of your different beliefs, not just a belief about one thing, but it's
Right.
going to be more about a belief of your value of yourself, you're going to be becoming more aware of things about who you are, an expansiveness of yourself. There was another planet that you had in that chart, right? Even though you've got all these down there, you've got this one up here. And I won't go into that planet except because it does pertain to this house. And in this reading, it's not right at the degree of the new moon. However, because there is action happening in this ninth house, we don't have the outer planets on here, but Uranus has entered Taurus up here, okay? And eventually Uranus will be meeting up with this planet. And that particular planet that I pointed to is about our deep emotional wounds. It's called Chiron. We all have it somewhere in our chart. Yours is tied to your belief system, okay? It's tied to learning, it's tied to to religion, to spirituality. So regardless of how evolved you already are and how aware you already are, once Uranus has made it, like 6 more years to go with Uranus, once it's made it through that house, you're going to come out at the end of that 6 years with, you're going to have more knowledge. You're going to have a new level of truth about in your belief systems as a whole, and tied to the things that you value, tied to communication, tied to the way you relate to people one-on-one, tied to what are my values. As far as, do I still value this? Have I added to that? You know, you might change your value system altogether. You're
going to rethink all of your value system and what's important to you, and you're going to realign all of it over the next several years.
And it'll be a very big deal when Uranus gets to 5 degrees, which actually isn't that far off. I didn't realize that was that low of a degree. That's not that far off.
5 degrees, where are you getting that? I'm sorry.
Oh, God, I'm reading the wrong. Thank you. I thought, okay, thank you. Because I'm like, oh my God, we need to talk to her about this right now. 5 degrees is like
25.
December. Holy piss.
No,
okay,
25.
You got some time. I'm sorry.
You've got several years to go.
But when it gets to, I'm sorry. I got all frantic. When it gets here, right, it's 25. Uranus moves slow. It's going to take Uranus like 5 years. 5 degrees a year or something, roughly. I'm just breaking it down really quick. Don't quote me because I don't have the ephemeris in front of me. But
it's probably going to take at least 4 to 5 years before it gets to that degree.
When it does get here, you will know it. I guarantee you will know it. And
you will feel it.
You will feel it. You will know it. There will just be experiences. There will be definitely one-on-one relationships because it's Taurus. There will be things about communicating, all these things, and they'll be tied. There'll be things that get you in your sore spot. They get you in a spot it's already an open wound and someone's kind of thrown salt in it. And the point is, it's got to do that because then it brings your awareness up about it. And you actually process it and you heal it and you release it and you move on, type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay? That's the whole point.
Whenever Chiron is involved, that is always going to involve the deepest, most hurtful wounds that you carry with you.
Your emotional wounds.
Your emotional wounds.
They say that they're from, like for people who believe in a previous lifetime, they say that some of these are wounds that we've carried from past lives. For those who don't believe in that, these are wounds from your childhood.
Yep. And I can speak to this very clearly because I've just been going through this. And I went through a really dramatic event back in the fall that involved Chiron.
Yes.
And it brought up a lot of old emotional childhood wounds. And it really made me question a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it really does make you rethink. When Chiron's involved, it makes you rethink your value system. It makes you rethink how you look at things within your life. And because of the placement of Chiron within my personal chart, it made me rethink how I value myself.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the key, and especially because it's in Taurus, it's self-value, how I love myself.
So you're going to really need to start to think about that. So with this new moon,
yes,
start to plant those seeds now. These seeds are going to take a long time to grow. So this is a really great time because of this placement for you to sow those seeds now and really start to think about these things, about how do you value you? How do you take the ideas of learning beyond who you are and learning things that are not visible within the physical realm? And how do you value those things? And how do you move forward with those things within your life? And how do you put value on them so that you can move forward? And then taking that information and realizing that there is actually some financial value in that for people, and that you can put a value on that, and that you can grow from that, and that you need to put value in it for yourself as well.
Because Taurus is about our finances. It is about our money. It is about our material world. It's our second house. It's how we earn money.
Yeah.
You know, so take everything she's saying and definitely plant some seeds, whether you're speaking them, whether you're thinking them. And we were suggesting
write them down.
May 6th, like in 2 days. That's when the moon becomes visible.
And this is something that we were just talking about with
Yeah.
the new moon. We've always said, write them down at the time of the new moon, which would be today. Well, I don't know about, I can't speak for G, but for me, I've always done it at the time of the new moon. Well, the things that I've been writing down and planning for the future and trying to bring into fruition, it's really not been happening. The moon's not visible.
Yeah, there's a couple schools of thought on it. And so we thought, how about we try change it up a little bit and see what happens?
We're going to wait until the moon actually becomes visible and see if when the moon becomes visible again,
if it makes it more powerful.
if it
helps the intention to come along a little bit faster.
Yeah, if it brings the intention more into focus. So now we're going to suggest to everybody, wait for a couple of days till the moon actually becomes visible again, which should be in
May 6th about
May 6th. So we're going to wait until that moon becomes visible again, until it's not invisible anymore. So today's Saturday. So Monday,
Yep.
write down those intentions. Start thinking about them. Start figuring out what it is that you want to set forward as your intention in regards to these ideas.
Yeah, and because of your ascendant, right? I want to tie this back into your rising sign. This is projects, okay? Use that. Use the power of your ascendant to do just this. And I'm saying use the power of your ascendant because your ascendant's degrees are, if you look, it exactly trines this new moon. You have a 14-degree ascendant. The new moon's at 14 degrees. You have a very strong earth trine, and it's about projects. So please do me a favor. Don't waste this. This means start these projects, get them organized, and make them practical. Like not even just put them into words. Because it's the new moon, start writing down, okay, I am going to pull out a calendar.
Yep.
And on this day, I'm going to work on this. On this day, it's all about projects. You like lots of things going on.
And when it involves the earth, it needs to be very physical.
Yeah, so please don't waste this. You have a super sweet trine, your new moon trining your ascendant. You have the power and the logic and the rationality of Virgo to say, okay, I can put that in this box, do this on this day, put that in this box, do this on this day. Use that, utilize that, because you have so much mind activity, right? You have so much mind activity, that third house. I'm not going to tell you I understand. I'm not even going to begin to tell you I understand that chart as to how that is to be you. I don't understand that, but
I kind of do.
Having that ascendant, the only thing I can say is if your mind is constantly on, be the taskmaster of your mind. Don't let it control you.
Get control of your mind. You have to control your mind.
Right.
Don't let your mind control you.
Let it be the tool that it is. And it is for all of us. But for somebody with a chart like this, where their mind is just never shutting off, you really need to be the disciplinarian of it. You really do. You have to say, okay, listen, I understand. I hear all this. I see all this. But listen, right now, we're going to focus on this day for this set amount of time.
Right.
That's how we're going to start doing this. We're going to start categorizing it, if that's possible. So I'm asking you to please use that as part of your intention for this new moon.
set those intentions down and repeat them through your mind throughout the day.
You might have to do it verbally because you're such a verbal person, but you're also very much so a writing person. But some people, like she would always tell me when we would discuss this, that for her, it's better for her to talk her intentions out loud.
Right.
For me, I like the talking and the writing, but I first have to do it in writing. I first write everything down and then I will reread them, which is funny because her husband, Steve, has... he has his 9th house, which is Taurus, and Steve loves to read shit out loud, whether anybody's listening or not. And he'll be like, I just want to share this with you. I just want to read this to you. And she's like,
No.
I'm trying to go to bed right now. He'll come down the hallway like he's just come across something really cool he just read. And he's like, here, I want you to read
really
this.
have to read this
And I'm
to
in the
you.
other room,
Like,
and he's just like, here. And I can hear, she's like, I really want to just go to sleep right now.
I really need to go to sleep.
It's like he needs to speak it though. Like he needs for
He
him
has to have the physicality of verbalizing it. Because when he verbalizes it, he then internalizes it.
And it makes sense because Taurus rules speech. It really does. Taurus is about speaking. Taurus rules the voice. Taurus, a lot of
Literally
really prominent,
rules this part of the body.
a lot of prominent singers. If you look up people who are like these, whoa, powerful, you look them up in their chart, they're going to have prominent Taurus somewhere in their chart. So Taurus is all about that. And I haven't said this before in the other videos because we've been talking about this moon in Taurus, but I'm going to start introducing it because there's a big full moon coming up, which we'll do a video on it. It's later this month on May 18th, but Taurus is the bringer of the light. Taurus is supposed to be that light. So it is your job when you're speaking and when you have these intentions, it is about your values, but you're about shining a light. And you can't possibly think the light that's being shined is just for you, right? It involves others if you're taking it to a higher level. So I'm just planting my own little seeds of where I want this to head and where I want to kind of train this whole thing to go, because it's really about the highest good for all of us. Okay? All right. Next chart.
Next chart. We are doing February 10th, 1993, Columbia, Maryland at 12 p.m. We have a Libra moon, another Libra moon, sun in Aquarius with a Gemini rising. Well, look at that. That is a very air person.
A lot of air.
That is a lot of air.
What does that mean if someone has a lot of air? Well, let's not get into that. Let's first show this person their chart. Help them to find their natal moon. That's how we're doing this.
Okay, so
Let's
we're
stick
going
to
to
it.
start with the rising sign, as always. So we're going to go across this line to find
Oh, I'm sorry. You're on rising.
the rising
jumping to the
sign.
moon.
Okay, we're going to go down. We're going to find the Libra moon. There it is.
What house is it in?
It is in the 5th house.
Okay, we know because the number's there.
There's the moon.
Okay.
And then we have the sun up here in Aquarius.
And that's their...
That is in the 10th house, that looks like.
All right, we'll take another look from this
Yes,
side. It's hard to
that
see
is in the-
reading backwards.
That is in the 10th house.
Okay, so you have a sun in air, which is I'm sorry, Aquarius, so it's air.
Right.
And I'm only mentioning the sun, even though we're not talking about sun signs, and I don't want to confuse anybody, but this is a lot of air in this chart.
Yeah.
They have a Libra moon. Libra is air. They have a rising sign in Gemini. Gemini is air, okay? These are prominent, these are the air signs of the zodiac.
Yep, all three of them.
So for an individual with so much air, they have an antenna that's constantly up there. Okay, it's hooked in to what's flowing above the head all the time.
Right.
It might seem like they're always floating. When you talk to air people, you can kind of see it.
They kind of look up.
They're floating a lot. You can see it when I talk to. My eyes are up there. You can kind of see it in people sometimes, And
They
so-
seem very light.
yeah.
They seem to be very light. They seem to almost,
like that feather. You
they
know?
almost seem to float when they walk.
Yeah, really
even.
airy people. One of the things for airy people I should mention, because I've been in touch with a lot of airy people, and I've noticed because they have so much air, it's very hard to be grounded. So when we say it's hard to be grounded, literally having your feet on the ground. Well, what happens when you can't have your feet on the ground? What happens? Like, what's the repercussion of
They
that?
have
Why
a
is that
very
important?
difficult time with being connected to day-to-day life.
Yes, the practical things of life.
Yeah.
It's difficult, you know. And so I sympathize with this person because I have a lot of earth. So I don't have a hard time, you know, I just kind of have like an internal clock without having to look at the clock. I kind of know 15 minutes has passed. Air people, I don't think they have that. I think
they
time
have a
slips
really
away
hard
very
time with
easily
paying
from them.
attention to time. They
To their
tend
body,
to be
to their physical
late.
needs.
Yeah, they have a really hard
Yeah.
time with paying attention to,
Yeah.
oh, I need to eat.
Yes.
Oh, I need to go to
Yes.
sleep.
They
Oh,
might-
I need to get up and go to work.
Right. And again, this is an overall generality that we're giving. That you, if this is your chart, you might have been experiencing. And we haven't even dipped into your chart really. Like as far as, we're just talking about air, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because you are a whole lot of air, we had to kind of bring that about. Air is thought. Air is thinking. So you are also
So thinking all the time.
thinking all the time. But for you, you're thinking, you're probably doing a lot of daydreaming, I'm not going to lie. He's got a lot of daydreaming that's probably going on in this person's chart.
A lot.
You know, so you might, what does that mean? There's a lot of images possibly, right? You might think in like I like to say, like in little movie screens type
Think
of thing.
in
You might
pictures.
be thinking pictures, images, yeah. Let's get to the moon part of this though, right? So
Right.
emotional satisfaction is our moon, right? It's in Libra, right? We pointed to that early. Oh, hold on, Greer's all
It's in the
over
fifth
damn
house.
place. I'm sorry. I was pointing at Leo. All right. So it's in the fifth house. Here's your moon, and your moon is next to Jupiter. We have to bring that up a little bit. They're exactly conjunct. They're both 14 degrees, right? And so far, what's fascinating about the 14 degrees, right?
Because the new
New
moon
moon
is
is
going
at
to be at 14
14
degrees.
The new moon is at 14 degrees.
Yeah.
And normally it wouldn't be so important in the degrees matching is important, but it's in Libra, the same ruler that Taurus has.
Yeah.
Another person
Yeah.
where their moon it's sharing it. So
Right.
So
So this is going
Libra-
to be a really today's new moon is really powerful. So the intentions that you set for this new moon are going to be really powerful.
why? What is Libra about? What's emotionally satisfying for this person in Libra?
Libra is about our close personal relationships. It's about the people that we are the closest to.
Yeah.
It's about the things that where we find balance in our lives. This particular person has their Libra in the fifth house, which is all about creativity. It's about children. It's about fun, how we have fun in our lives. And because this person has Jupiter right on their moon, they love to have fun.
Jupiter, what it does is it'll expand things. It'll exaggerate things.
It makes everything bigger.
It does make things bigger. Yeah, like I'm looking at this and I'm realizing this chart is kind of similar to my mom's in the sense that my mom had Jupiter in her fifth house.
And she had a lot of children.
And my mom had like 14 pregnancies that I know of. No, I mean, just being real. Like, she didn't talk a whole lot about the ones that didn't go to full term, and that's understandable. But,
Right.
so, yeah, and this person, because it's in Libra, one-on-one relationships are going to be important to them.
Right.
Significant one-on-ones. So their Libra ruler is Venus, and she has a fiery Venus, likes starting things, likes to
Right.
create new things. So this could be madly creative. It doesn't
Yes.
mean just in a sexual procreating way. It could
No.
be madly creative, or at least loving to begin new creative things. And
Right.
I can go on my
and really
room and see
wants to
tons
be
of things I've
creative. And
started.
maybe doesn't always know how to, but really wants to be.
Yeah, because of the Libra, she's saying, maybe doesn't know how to or how to make a decision which way to go.
Right.
Because the Libra's pulled on the left path and the right path, and
Yeah,
so they like both
sometimes
ideas.
they're like,
Yeah.
do I go this way? Do I go this way? Libra is one of those dual signs, right?
Yes.
We have a couple of dual signs in astrology. We
Yes.
have Gemini is a dual sign, Libra is a dual sign, and Pisces is a dual sign. And those dual signs often have difficulty with decision making.
Yes, yes. The fire though, okay, the Aries fire, which your moon and your Libra ruler is connected to Aries, so you're gonna have the impetus to begin new things. Just be aware that other than having the indecisiveness as to which route to go, experiment. I would recommend experimenting because that's what the Aries energy is about. It's about, you know what? Don't let that stop you.
Right.
Go ahead and begin something. You don't have to be like, but I have to know every step before I begin. Don't do that. You have help because I'm going to show you why you have some help. You have a lot of Virgo, not a whole bunch, but you have some Virgo in this house. Virgo is I can see step 1, step 2, step 3. Virgo's connecting the practical dots of how to do the project. So you have help. So maybe just realize that you have that help there. And you also have the fact that your love of starting new things, experiment, use the Virgo and the fire of the initiating of the Aries, use those together to get you out of the indecisive Libra thing. Okay?
If you can get step 1 down.
Yes. Step 2 will come.
Step
once
2
you get to step
will come.
1.
Step
Okay?
3 will
Think
come.
about it that way. Right.
It will fall into place.
Right.
If you're willing to take that leap of faith with that.
And stick with it.
And then,
stick with itness, as I would like to say. The Taurus stick with itness, which is where the new moon reading comes in. Your bonus, right?
Yeah.
Your new moon is happening at 14 degrees Taurus, okay? And in the beginning of this chart, we said you have your 14 degrees natal moon, okay? And these have the matching same rulers. So you are another individual where this is very significant because 14 degrees, same ruler. They're having intimate conversations. They are really compatible. They are looking each other in the eye and having a talk. Nobody's talking to the back of someone's head. Nobody's walking away. They are sitting down with a cup of tea and some biscuits and enjoying the conversation and the time that they're having together. And they're having tea out of fine china, actually. These Tauruses are, and maybe someone's serving it to them. I don't know, But what you would want to know is, what's the whole Taurus aspect? It's in the 12th house, the house of mystery. And that is the 12th. It's the house of Pisces. And so it's dreamy-like. It's connecting to the other world. It's
the house of metaphysics.
A house of metaphysics. It is the house of theater in the sense that Pisces can be the best actors and actresses that there are.
Yes,
okay?
Absolutely.
You having Taurus there, remember, Taurus is about the voice. Taurus is about light, bringing the light. So there might be some things that have been a mystery to you, and maybe you want to use this new moon to tie in the mysteries of the 12th house, okay? It's, there might be, there's, your 12th house is a sensitive house. It's Pisces. It's very sensitive. It's connected to a higher realm of sensitivities where the veil is and where we can actually pierce the veil and connect. But because Taurus is there, you have physical sensitivities. Taurus, as I've mentioned in the other charts, it's happening in everybody's chart. The sign, there's a planet going through this sign right now for the next 7 years, and it's a planet of surprises. Okay, and so there might be things that will come up in your physical sensitivities, in your touch, your tactile, that are heightened. I'll give you an example of that, of myself. I have Taurus in the same position. And when I was baking professionally, when Uranus first started going through that house, I had already been baking, but when Uranus first started touching in there, all of a sudden, the dough I was touching, this is so wild, and it's still wild even as I say it, I would go and put the dough through the roller, through the sheeter, they call it. And as it would come out of the sheeter, it's coming out, and I would feel it go across my hand. So I would feel that, but I would have to look at my hand like I felt like I was like I took a drug and like I was tripping or something, because I thought the dough was oozing between my fingers, but it wasn't. And I would be like this, and I'm like, what the hell? Because it felt like the dough was oozing down, but it wasn't. It was just running across my hands.
She also spoke about the fact that she felt as if she could feel the yeast actually growing in her hand.
Yeah, I don't even know how to talk about it. I don't even know what other explanation. But I don't, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so freaky. I never had that before. I've always had Taurus there. I've always been a Taurus sun. But because Uranus hit that house and it heightens your sensitivities, okay? Because Taurus is already Taurus rules all the senses, okay? Taste, touch, smell, vision, hearing, right? Taurus rules all that. So those sensitivities plus things you didn't know you had. There are other sensitivities, other ways of being aware of things that we have in our body and in our non-physical body, right? We have this non-physical body, our aura, where those sensitivities, because it's in the 12th house, are going to be heightened.
Yep.
They're going to all of a sudden be like, whoa, I wasn't aware of that. What is that? You know? So you might have those kind of experiences. And don't be afraid. Taurus also has a level of fear about them. Don't be afraid of that. Know that you can control everything that happens as far as stating your boundaries, stating how much you want to know, how far you want to dip into the 12th house.
Right.
Okay? So keep that in mind. This might excite you. This might, you might be curious about this. You might be like, hey, this sounds so cool. I want to go into this. And if you do, that's great. Do it. Just remember, you can control it.
This is a perfect time that if this is something that you're interested in, if this is something that you're excited about, this is the perfect time for you to set those intentions
May 6th.
About opening that up further for yourself.
Yeah, this will be a beginning.
Have it, and set those intentions to its highest power.
Please do, because of the fact that you've got your moon in your 5th. I know this is going to appear to be fun, okay?
But
this
make sure that you keep it set to its highest.
Yes, good advice. Very good advice. And let's tie this into your rising sign, okay? You're an air sign. Again, we already said at the beginning of the video, air has a easy connection to go up above, to connect with that which is there. You're the Gemini rising. So you should probably, because you're a Gemini rising, you will be able to then tie this into communicating about this.
Yeah, you'll be able to communicate really easily. You'll be able to hear very easily. You'll be able to communicate very easily about what it is that you hear. You'll be able to connect very easily. And eventually you may be able to even teach about what it is
definitely.
that you are experiencing.
And the way that you experience it. And one of the things I found out, a lot of people who are new to this type of stuff, it's such a gray area in the sense that, well, this person connects this way, this person connects this way. And it's my firm belief, depending upon what you came in with. These are the tools you came in with. Right. Dependent upon this has everything to do with how you connect. How she connects is so different from how I connect. And I connect way differently than how you connect. You know what I mean? So we all are going to experience it in very different ways. There's no wrong way, but what I would recommend, I'll reinforce what she touched upon, which is make sure you're doing it for the highest good of all. Make sure you want to connect with source. Right. I'll say it that way, because it'll be, there's a lot of things when we start connecting and we pierce that veil, that's the astral plane. That's the first veil. Like when we first puncture it and we get up there, that's the astral plane right there. Right. You want to kind of go and ascend above it, because if you want information, you want good information. You don't want you're not there just to play games, although you might be at first in experimenting, but you want, well, you decide what you want. I can't tell you what you want, but after experimenting, you'll figure that out, okay? So
but
just
don't
let it stop you.
Always make sure that you are trying to connect up, not down.
Yeah. All right? I think we did a good job there, and we can move on to the next one. So,
absolutely.
May 4th, or sorry, May 6th.
May 6th.
New moon is May 4th, which is today. I give dates and I say today and tomorrow, because I'm not really sure when we're posting this. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully we're going to post it this evening. We
did just post a couple videos 2 days ago. We're posting queens all of a sudden, but these things are relevant. These things are relevant.
Really relevant right now.
And I get very, I don't know how you feel. I get when I find holy crap, this is happening. They need to know this. This is good.
We need to put this out there now.
We need to get it into their hands,
Yep.
So do your intentions, to wrap up your reading, do your intentions, we were suggesting May 6th, okay? If you have already been doing this kind of stuff and you have a time when you like to do it that you think is more relevant to you in your life right now, then by all means, you do what works best for you. Okay? You have free will at all times, and we are big believers of reminding all of us that regardless of what tools we came in with, we supersede our chart. Okay? This is just the tools that are in our box.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Don't flip it around on me yet. I might have to smack you.
That's
okay.
Well,
So
I'm not really good. Well, it's on video. I got proof. She hit me, damn it.
the next chart is October 2nd, 1968. We have a moon in Aquarius in the second house. We have, which is another air sign.
Yes.
We have a Sagittarius rising, and we have a sun in. Whoa, what is that?
Hold on, we gotta check the chart. What is that called? Your square chart down below.
Okay, we're gonna
because you have a tricky one. It's right on the cusp.
a 9-degree Libra. So we've got double air, and fire.
Double air sign. So
okay,
let me
moon in Libra.
Let's find that
sun
for you.
Moon in Aquarius, sun in Libra.
Moon in Aquarius. This is your natal moon. Now, you did read the birth dates, right?
October 2nd, 1968.
You did all that, right? I'm sorry. My mind goes somewhere else, and I'm not... Anyway. Okay? And that is in your second house. I'm sorry. Your second house.
I said that, too.
So this is Taurus,
Second house.
So it's so similar to the other chart where we gave a reading where it was the Libra moon in the second house.
Right.
Because it was air. So
Right.
this is a Libra in Aquarius, which is air, in the second house. So it's a lot of Taurus energy, a lot of values, a lot of what I value, what is mine, right? People think their partners are theirs, right?
Sometimes,
the material world, my money, that whole thing.
My money, my spouse, my home,
my children. So what would this Aquarian? Aquarians,
my friends.
Their group, that's right.
My tribe.
My tribe, right. Aquarians, they own their tribe because it's in the second house. They value them. That would definitely, their social circle is going to be a big deal to this person.
My social circle. They probably have a really big social circle, and they consider it their social circle.
Yeah. Let me see what else here.
What else have we got?
From this way because I'm... All right, so that's the new moon, second house. I'm sorry. God, take me out of this. Shoot me. Your natal moon in your second house, okay?
The new moon is going to be...
Thank you.
The new moon is going to be in the fifth house.
Right. Tell us about the fifth house while I mark where this is at.
The fifth house is ruled by Leo.
Yeah.
Leo
Creative.
is creative energy. Leo is rules children.
Yep.
And
fun. Romance. Gambling. We didn't talk about that in the fifth house.
We never mentioned
we take
that.
risks. When we have planets in the fifth house, that's where we take risks. But considering you have Taurus there, Taurus is not a risk taker. They like to do things that they know will work. They like things that are strong foundationally. So that goes everything opposite of a risk taker. A risk taker would be a Leo. Leos can be risk takers.
Right.
Okay? Because that's the fifth house. Fifth house is Leo. So this person has a lot of creative potential because Taurus is a creative sign as well. Maybe they like to sing to feel good. That would be common. They've got Taurus in their fifth house. Singing would make you feel good. And if you don't know that, try that, whoever this is. October 2nd, 1968.
October 2nd, 1968. Yes.
Sorry, God, a bad video. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm having a bad day. I'm having a bad day connecting my mind with my physical.
This is Iowa City, Iowa.
Somewhere else.
Well, that's because
I'm not connecting. I'm just.
You want to know why?
No. Yes. I'm struggling.
Because
damn it.
the sun and the moon are in Taurus today.
But I should be able to do both. I'm. For some reason, I feel scattered in some ways.
Because it's all in your 12th house, sweetheart.
Oh, that makes sense. The practical world is evading me right now. That's why.
Practicality is going to evade
it's not
her
working
because
for me
it's
right now.
all in her 12th
I'm
house.
all up here right now, so you do the practical shit.
Okay.
Just let me do this part. Because I'm messing everything up.
Well,
The reading's good. It's just this part of it I'm not doing. The practical stuff.
all that Taurus
All right.
stuff is going to be in your 12th house. It's
That's
all going to be
fine.
in my 8th.
All right, let's
Okay.
do this.
So
Sorry.
this is why it's good because
Let's do
when
this.
stuff is not in a good house for her, it's in a good house for me, and
All right,
vice
let's
versa.
practicalize this for them.
Practical.
Whatever. Let's move along. I'm trying to get out of this.
Okay, so somebody who has a sign like Taurus, which is very, very practical, in a house that is ruled by Leo, you've got it's going to help to temper that Leo
Yeah,
energy.
it'll balance it is what we're
It'll
saying.
help to balance it. Leo can be sort of
Flamboyant.
very flamboyant.
Wants the spotlight on
They
them.
want the spotlight. They can be a little bit outrageous. They
Taurus
can be
is more reserved.
off the cuff. They can be out
This is-
there. They can make bad choices oftentimes without really completely thinking through things. Taurus is going to make them slow down and really think about it and really process the energy.
So this is in terms of your new moon, which is
Right.
today. And
Right.
it's at 14 degrees Taurus, and it's
Right.
in your 5th house of Leo. Okay?
Right. Now, this is good. And the reason why this is really good is because this is going to allow you to take a moment, to take this time to set intentions about practicality in terms of how can I take anything that I'm doing creatively? How can I take anything that I'm doing in terms of my children? How can I take anything that I'm doing in terms of where I want to have fun in my life? And how can I make it practical and do it in such a way that makes sense for me going forward? So how can I take these two seemingly very disparate things? You know, they don't seem like they really go together.
Right.
How can I be practical about fun? How can I make plans about when's a good time to go and have a vacation?
Yeah, and you'd want to use this too, this time, because the Taurian energy has the power and the desire and the stamina to carry through on these
Right.
intentions and these wishes. And that's why we talk about
Absolutely.
all new moons. But the new moon in Taurus is a very much so highlighted thing because of Taurus's ability, of the magnetism, the power to draw to you that which you desire.
Right.
So you want it to just, put it up there as a high intention.
So if you're looking to do something that's more creative, if you want to bring more creative energy into your life, if that's something that you've been wanting to do, if you want to do something more creative with your kids, if you just need more creative energy in your life,
It's really
in
going to
some
be
way,
about creativity too.
This is a perfect time to say, okay, this is something that I really want to do.
The temptation might to procreate. I'm just going to throw that out there. I
Just
have to
be
throw it out
careful
there.
about that.
I do have to throw that seriously because
Yeah.
the Venus is in Scorpio,
Yeah.
and that's Venus rules Taurus, so it talks about what you love.
Yeah, be kind of
Scorpios
careful of
can
that. I mean, you're at an age now where if you're not careful, you could have a change of life baby.
She's absolutely right. So just be aware of this.
I'm
going
just saying
forward.
that because
Yes.
you're at that age
Yes.
where if you're not careful, you
Yes.
could end up with a change of life baby.
Yes, Scorpios are great at intimacy. Okay, Scorpios are great at connecting on a very intimate, deep level. Intimacy doesn't have to be sexual, doesn't have to be physical. You can have a wonderful one-on-one with somebody and connect with them in a very intimate way.
Right.
The beauty of your Scorpio and where your Venus is, and this is all related to the Taurus, is that it's in groups. So the beauty for you is you have an innate quality to connect with a large group, to be within a large group,
Right.
and yet each person can feel like they're connecting with you.
On an individual basis.
And that you have a lot of power, my dear or fellow, whoever this is I'm looking at, I'm not sure, you have quite a bit of power. Whether you realize it or not, I don't know. But please just be aware of the procreative and creative abilities and desire that's going to be part of this new moon for you. Okay?
Yeah, and just
think it through.
Take some extra precautions.
Think it through. Let's relate this now to your rising sign, right?
Oh, Sagittarius.
Yeah, all the other stuff we just talked about, Taurus and its ruler being in Venus, being in Scorpio, that was all up here. 11th house is the house of groups, okay? So now your rising sign is your Sag, okay? And that's all about new experiences and
goal setting.
Goal setting, and I achieved this one. Let's go and achieve another goal.
Okay, so this
vertical goals.
This meets in with all of this perfectly. So you can set those goals, you can set those intentions, you can put down those intentions that you want about what it is that you need to do in a creative way for you moving forward in your life. And this is the perfect time to do it. And if you do it in such a way that works for you, and you really zoom in, really narrow in on what it is that you want, you're going to be able to reach those goals.
And when you're being progressive, because your moon is in a sign that's all about innovation, all about individuality, all about being unique, all about being the person who has the next best idea.
Right.
That is where your moon is, your natal moon. So that emotionally satisfies you.
Yep.
You are to be the innovator. Okay, you are to be Thomas Edison. Right? You are, start naming some more innovators. I'm horrible with history. That is
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, this is in the house of how you make money. So understand that it's going to be about advancements for humanity, not just advancements for you and a partner, okay? Take it to a global level.
Yeah.
That will be satisfying for you, all right? But remember, this will help that Scorpio Venus. That's why I'm saying that. This will help the Scorpio Venus that you have, which will take it out of... I'm sorry.
Out of the personal level.
I was going to say take it out of the bedroom. I'm sorry. I'm like in the straightforward mode. And maybe she's like, what the hell? Why is she saying that about me? I'm sorry. But,
But that's where Scorpio tends to go.
Sometimes, right. And
that's where they can, when they're on a very physical plane,
and
that's where Scorpio will go.
Yes.
But when Scorpio can elevate, when they can get above the physical plane, they can go much higher.
And be wonderful. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
And the other thing isn't that it's bad or a lower thing. It's just, if that's where you want to be, do you want to have children? Do you have a family? Are you married? Do you want to be, if that's who you are, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But
We're
I don't
just
think
seeing
when
this
you're
other thing in case that's not who you are, and maybe you might be tiptoeing. You might be rocking.
But
back
I don't
and
think
forth.
at 50 years old, that's really where you still want to be.
Yeah, I haven't even paid attention to the thing. So
I do.
Thank God, because you're right. 1968. What the hell? But you said something at the very beginning, which was really key, which was you might have a life-altering thing. And so you'd want to be aware of that too.
Right.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. So be innovative. Be that next. Like I said,
new thing.
Yeah, be that next new thing.
Look for that next new thing. Even if it's not a global new thing, look for that next new thing for you, for your family, for your community.
And being that unique individual for you is going to be important. And don't be afraid of it. Grasp a hold of your individuality and your
literally
values.
grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah, value that. Value you. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So those are our
that's it for this video. We're at an hour.
For our air signs.
Yeah. Do us a favor. Subscribe if you found something here that we did that gave you value.
Pass on our information to your friends.
Share the video.
Yep. Have them send their birth information to us so that we can get them in the mix.
Get them into our video rotation.
Absolutely.
All right. And our last couple of videos, we did make a mention about our Best Beginners Zodiac Pack. And I just wanted to go back
Yeah,
over
we need to go back over
one more,
that.
just real quickly, that it's going to be about giving the 1, 2, 3s to people who are serious about wrapping all of this, into their brain, and they really want to look at something like this
And understand what it means.
but
Yep.
more importantly, how to begin. How do I look at this? Where do I begin? Look at all that. Where do I begin, right? There's a lot there. Our Zodiac pack will be affordable. We have been working on it. We're continuing to work on it. We're hoping in the next couple of weeks at the most to have it available at our website.
As soon as we do have it available, we will let all of you know that it is available.
Most definitely will.
And we will have it available on our website, and we will get it out to you in digital format so that you can download it and print it out and have it available to you so that you can learn along with us.
Which we love. All right, so thank you. Until next time, remember, as you look around in the world,
just remember, it's
all astrology. Bye.
Bye.